Things like Riff Raff by Jim Allen, Boys from the Black Stuff. I recognised the lives on screen and thought, as a working class person, I can write this.
Boys from the Black Stuff, because it worked out the way to tell the story about a community without that community being stigmatised or patronised.
What I thought was fantastic about The Wire was what David Simon was writing, and this sounds a very silly, obvious thing to say, what he was writing was a series. It's like he was writing a novel, and each episode was a chapter in a novel. My
favourite scene in Boys from the Black Stuff is Chrissy finds a fiver down the back of his sofa, and rather than spending it on his starving kids, he goes out and gets a 4-pack and a bag of chips. And it's just so true and human.
I'm getting more of the American box sets and things like 6 Feet Under, and I've just been watching Breaking Bad, which is brilliant.
You know, when I was really young, you know, Star Trek and Mission Impossible and Wild Wild West and I Spy, Man from U.N.C.L.E., these were huge TV series for me as a kid.
It would be EastEnders, specifically EastEnders at the end of the 80s. I was more than addicted, I sort of lived it.
Things with great ambition like Deadwood, just the ambition of it.
And then in my teenage years and 20s, there was actually a lot of British series. I, Claudius and Brideshead Revisited and House of Cards. And I find myself returning to those often in my storytelling. If I'm stuck on a problem, I think about how these other things would have resolved that problem or what types of characters they would have had.
And then holding on because it told a story in a totally different and original way for me in terms of the way that television normally works.
The thing that I've loved the most lately, I think, would have been Misfits, probably. It seemed to me to be really brave and daring and fresh and original and funny and really characterful.
Practically anything ever written by Jim Allen, I want to be the next Jim Allen. I won't. I'll be the poor man's Jim Allen.
When I saw Holding On by Tony Marchant, I thought, well, that man's written a novel and transferred it to screen, and that's an ambitious move, and those things have had an effect on me.
The West Wing, I'm a huge fan of The West Wing, and it's something to aspire to, but something that one can very, very happily never achieve.